So how's everyone doing? It is a wonderful Friday, another Good Friday out of all the Good Fridays. And we're here today having a great time. Brad and I are back from our wonderful road trip and we got to experience a lot of cool stuff. And we can't wait to hear from you guys, where just by simply talking to us, you can get a free t-shirt, ask a question today, communicate with us and be our friend. You get free stuff, all on what's in the box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
So yeah, we had a great time. Brad and I had a conference that we went to. No, it wasn't a conference. It was a showcase. It was with Brother International. They're out of Memphis, and you've probably seen Brother logos before. They make all kinds of things. What do they make, Brad?
Sewing machines, printers, big printers, little printers, jumbo size printers, fried printers, coconut fried printers, barbecue printers.
They have a little bit of everything. They make our t-shirt digital presses, but they also do other kind of things too. There's a printing style that some people might know about, maybe you don't. It's called DTF, which to this day, DTF has been around for a little bit of time, but it's awesome that it's called DTF. And when you go to a place like Brother, you realize why it's called DTF. Because, not to be weird about it, but there are a lot of people that aren't like, you know, they're engineers, right?
They're down to have fun.
They're down to have fun, yes. What DTF stands for in the printing industry is direct to film.
We're down to have fun.
Yes. Those are the only two things, unless you want it to mean more. No, for real. So basically, it's basically DTG printing, for lack of better words, onto a film, and then we take that film and we're going to then apply it onto a garment. Sometimes at a later date, maybe it's 5 years from now. I wonder what the lifespan on DTF output is.
Keeping in a cool, dry place, probably years, maybe even decades.
So they're like the Twinkie of printing. Is you just keep it in the right environment, they can survive the fallout of a nuclear war, and then when you're rebuilding society, you can have a t-shirt line. So that's one way you could use DTF printing. Another way is you have some situations. It seems like I've seen DTF show up at a lot of vacation destination-y kind of spots where they don't have to worry about ordering tons and tons of t-shirts. They might own the inventory of t-shirt. And then they have all the designs on these films. That way, when they're running out of smalls, mediums, larges, they can go pull the stock, heat press them on, and then sell them. They're a cool technology. I think, you know, you're going to have everybody debate about that, about what's better. That's what's going on in our industry, is this debate on, you know, some people are hardcore screen printing guys. Some people are that mixed with digital of any kind, and some people then get into bickering about what's better between DTF and DTG. I kind of lean to what's the best tool for the job, and
there's no better or worse. There's just different.
There's just different.
Some companies are better or worse, but the product itself is just what fits. It's all like a puzzle.
That's right. So Josh Bink Art, he uses a Brother scanner almost every day. Yeah, scanners, that's another thing. See, this building we went to is, they said it was 1 million square feet.
116 bay doors.
That's crazy. And the place, Brad, I mean, it was a huge room we were in, just the display room. And it felt like we were going through, through TSA just to get in there. Because we had to go through the metal detectors and write our names down, and urine samples, blood samples, you know, the typical. I seriously wanted to be like, oh, I did make that joke and no one laughed. I kept making jokes there and no one would laugh at me, and I'm like, dude, these are funny. When they kept making me do all the things to get in, I was like, oh, brother, and like it was like dead silence in the room. And it's like, and my other favorite thing is during the display and the meetings and the learning opportunities there, the one marketing guy kept saying, we're here to learn, we're here to have a good time, we're here to be educated, and let's just share in some laughs with each other. You notice that he kept talking about sharing laughs and making sure we had laughs, but he didn't do anything funny. He just be like, I need you to laugh.
Laugh or get out.
Yeah. So that made me real nervous, so I just started making fun of everything, and then no one laughs. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to share and a laugh with you. And the security guard's like, sign your name and keep moving through.
A lot of the times I felt that when we were, going around, we could talk about the stuff, and I'm like, there's a couple people there that didn't even own Brother's stuff.
Right.
And I felt like I was going around and be like, yeah, get it, do the thing. Why, buy the product.
Yes. There was a level of salesiness to the whole thing. I mean, they were there. I mean, they're a business. They want us to be there. They want us to be more educated with the product,
Yeah.
I did feel like part of it could have been on a webcam like this. We could have had a conversation with them and been like, why? Or just sharing a laugh with them.
Sharing a laugh. I think me, you, and the two people we hung out with is our good friend Brian Brownlee. He works for Hirsch. So we hung out with him, and I can't remember what Jacob's actual title is. I thought he was a tech, but I guess he has something to do with maybe a technical sales something. But we hung out with those two dudes for the majority of the time, and those two dudes are great. So shout out to Brian Brownlee and Jacob.
Yeah, and it was neat. Brad got to experience, and it means a lot that Brad told me this about this too, because when I do all these conferences that I go to, I'm very thankful for this, and it means a lot actually when people come up to me randomly and be like, "Oh, I love the videos on the Terminus channel," or "I've watched you guys live," or that kind of thing. And I can be a bit much. I can get really excited about something, and the hyperbole button can get the hyperbole knob gets turned all the way up, and I get real excited. But there's a nugget of truth in there, right? So I come back, I'm like, Brad, you don't understand, the conference was real good. The people are coming up and blah, 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 and said all the nice things. They want to know where Brad is. They love the videos. I'm trying my best not to be too much about it, but it's true. Those things happen, and it makes me feel like I'm in a band again. It makes me feel cool and special. I come back and I'm like, Brad, you don't understand. People are asking where you were. They compliment us on the videos. And Brad, it meant a lot. Brad was like, I thought you were. Well, how did you feel when? Yeah, you can take up the story from here on.
I thought John might have been embellishing the impact that we have, especially me. But I think that I thought he could have been embellishing a little bit, but when we got there and, however many different people are like, yeah, I know you guys, come up and shake our hands and all that good stuff. It felt really nice.
Yeah. So it's true, and you're going to get different kinds. And sometimes I'm just walking around, someone says, love your videos. Sometimes you get the kid who wants to nerd out and talk like for 8 hours about all the filming techniques and has a cool idea for us. And he wants to tell us about his idea for our skits and stuff like that. So it just means a lot, that people, enjoy it. So, yes. What's the phrase I said? Did I say a phrase? Is that you saying that?
I don't think so.
There's something about saying a phrase in there. I don't know. You said he said the phrase. LMO when you're in a band. Am I looking at the right thing?
I think so.
Is that not you talking through Shirt Lord?
Mm-mm.
Is it another Shirt Lord?
No, that's Mr. Will Booth.
Will Booth, what's up, Will Booth? How are you, sir? Yes, saying hi to Will Booth. Hope you're doing well.
But yeah, it was a nutty experience. It was really fun, and I want to do it again because it really going in there, seeing all the stuff. The bigness of everything, that was a real thing. Like, imagine the biggest arena or venue you've ever been to and times it by 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then did you check out the little museum in the front of the thing?
I mean, I got kind of overwhelmed by all of it. I didn't see a museum.
It's like a little tiny thing, but it had a bunch of like early 60s, 70s, and even like earlier stuff like sewing machines, copiers, typewriters.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Really
It's
cool.
the history of their company on
and
display.
a bunch of Japanese stuff too,
Yeah.
because everything there comes from Nagoya.
And they did say that in Japan they make a brother karaoke machine that you can't get here in the United States. So we should look into it and
And
see.
I don't know if that guy was just trying to share a laugh with us.
It was the same guy, yeah. He said he was sharing a laugh, and I was like, that was the one time that might have been joking. I was like, I might want one of these machines, you
Yeah.
know? So now, maybe me and him are similar, that the jokes just don't land, and that's what it is. But oh brother, that's what it was, yeah. Because I even asked our marketing department, I was like, are you guys doing anything silly with the hello brother?
Hey, brother.
Hey brother, whatever. And then he's like, we're not that kind of company. Like,
And
oh.
the most dead, like, not going to go into too much detail, but
It was funny. I will. It was funny. He's probably a nice guy.
he's probably nice.
You know, the thing is, I was introduced to him. They're like, hey, well, when did you talk to one of the guys from Terminus T's? I'm like, hey, I'm John, and he's like, I know who you are, like deadpan. And I was just like, oh, is that a good thing or bad thing? Like, it was just straight up. Did find out he's mainly the granular analytics marketing guy. So he's basically doing the reports and the charts, and the guy that's asking to join in on laughs is more the director of the, if you had to call it, creative marketing side of it. But yeah, so that's just a personality thing. I hope I didn't do anything to offend that man. But
We later found out that he was once a lawyer, and then
Yes.
it all clicked.
yeah, so he's just straight down the middle. He has heard of me before. Maybe that was him complimenting me.
I've heard of you.
He's like, I've heard of you.
Your presence is known, boy.
Like, thank you, sir. So, anyway, so yeah, we had a good time doing that. Other things on the trip, we stayed out at the Horseshoe in Tunica, and just, you know, that's a different experience. Not like Vegas at all. It's very,
It's not like anywhere at all.
it's just, that's true. It is literally nowhere, in the sense of you're driving through the night and there's just fields and fields of crop. I don't even know what they're growing. It's just
Looked
leafy.
like cornfields, could have been
But
cabbage.
the beginnings of the cornfield. So very leafy, green fields, and in the pitch black darkness is a shining beacon called Horseshoe. It's owned by Caesars, so we went there, and it's very outdated, but it has character, and a lot of people with oxygen tanks and Social Security checks being cashed. So we got to hang out and have a good time with them, and yeah, there was it was a good time. Coming and going from there, we went to Buc-ee's, and I was excited about that. That was good. It was exactly what people described.
Yeah, it's a Walmart and it's a Quick Trip and Walmart put together.
Yeah, not as big as a Walmart. Maybe old Walmart, like.
Oh no, dude, that place is pretty darn big.
Yeah, but I was thinking more like not mega super center Walmart. You know what I mean?
But I mean comparatively with like the gas pumps and stuff, like I think the whole
I think they have more gas pumps than anywhere I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, I mean that's nuts.
Like all the way around the building, except for the back of the building or something like that. But their parking lot is huge,
yeah.
and they don't allow semi trucks there.
Which is wild because that's why I've kind of like I avoid truck stops pretty much at all cost. I've been to a couple Loves and a couple Flying J's, but I don't, you know, I'd rather go get off the exit and find a Quick Trip or
Yeah, so
even a racetrack.
Yeah, they're house-made sodas. We were kind of sad to say they didn't make them in can or bottle format to take with us. You could only get them on tap. But I had a pineapple cream soda.
I had a black cherry soda.
But I had black cherry soda. You had some ices one. He likes his ices. But the beaver nuggets, we ate about 2/3 of the bag through the trip, and I probably ate more than you did.
I don't think we might have we munched a little, but I don't think we ate that many of them.
And then I had a whole other bag I took home for my wife, and that just got opened last night, and I'm thinking about.
Did she enjoy it as much as she thought she would?
I think she likes it. I'm the one who I love them. I think they're so good.
Yeah, they're delicious.
I always heard people say, "Oh, you'll love those beaver nuggets," and I do. I'm not gonna lie, they're fantastic. We had some brisket sandwiches.
Yeah, so Josh, we did try the barbecue.
Yep.
Um,
But you did the pulled pork on the way home.
I did the brisket on the way there, pork on the way home.
Yeah, we stopped by there twice because Buc-ee's is coming and going from Atlanta and Alabama. So we hit it about lunchtime going out, and then early dinner time going back.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
We did have real Memphis barbecue too.
And that's one thing. At the Brother place, they provided lunch, which was wonderful, and I thank them for that too.
Which was
so
out of this freaking world.
We
dude.
had pulled pork and some ribs or whatever. We had some barbecue at Brother, and then drove a couple hours, 4.5 hours, stopped at Buc-ee's and got more barbecue. So Brad and I had a barbecue fest of sorts.
Barbecue bonanza.
Barbecue bonanza. Then I woke up in the middle of the night like craving water. Like, you know what I mean? The meat sweats, you know. I woke up and I was like, man, I got to drink some water. I'm dehydrated.
The tater chips were, I mean, the barbecue was good, don't get me wrong, but like, it's just, at the end of the day, it's, gas station barbecue. However, those tater chips,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Zaxby's used to, I don't know, all of you around the area, I don't know if there's Zaxby's everywhere, but Zaxby's used to have these tater chips, and they were house fried, house cut, all the good stuff. And I think and Buc-ee's blew those out of the water.
Yeah, they were
Those
incredible.
Buc-ee's tater chips were just so good.
Yeah. And my wife likes those gummies with the with the white bellies.
You
So-
yellow belly.
She likes the frogs the most, but they didn't have frogs. They had sharks, the blue sharks with the white bellies. So I got her a bag of it, like a way too many. Like it wasn't like everything's extra large there pretty much. I mean, there's not a conservative
It's so
amount.
inexpensive for what it is. The drinks, the barbecue was kind of expensive, but like the drinks, I think like an XL, like something bigger than this QT cup was $1.09.
Yeah. A Buc-ee's 09. That's what they should market that as. So I also bought some merchandise because my wife wanted a shirt. I don't get to buy too many shirts in my life because we kind of have infinite shirts here. But I do like to
Limited power.
I do like to, remember the occasion. No, it's fun, and they're cool shirts. I was surprised on all the different, printing techniques and stuff like that. I mean, there seemed like a lot of screen printing still. You said you thought some of it might be DTF, or
I think more like crazier colors and crazier garments were definitely DTF and felt like a transfer.
yeah. That's one thing I noticed too is like the consistency of the print. They were all good, but they didn't I could tell. I was like, I wonder if these are printed at the same printer, like this shirt versus this way other design over here, or if they spread out the love, just for. I mean, I imagine whoever's printing those are printing a lot of Buc-ee shirts because this place was packed. It was like kind of when we walked in, I had mental overload a little bit.
I just wonder, and the whole time I'm thinking about this, like when we got into town and stuff, I know it's summer, but it's still a weekday. And I'm just wondering how much like different it would have been if we would have went like a Monday in September.
Yeah.
I wonder how busy. I know everybody's on the road all the time, but like, I just wonder because there was a lot of families there.
Yeah.
There was a
So,
lot
yeah.
of families.
How many people have you guys seen at a Buc-ee's? Or is it usually packed for you guys? Is it usually, has anybody even been in there and it was dead? Because that would be a weird experience.
It'd be cool.
Because I think part of the charm of the food there is like you're getting a hot brisket sandwich. Just those things are coming off the line. Like there's not much hot food waiting too long.
They're just yelling at you the entire time, like brisket on the line, brisket on the line, brisket on the line.
And they have the whole fudge station. They have these like hot nuts.
The candied nuts, dude. Smelling sugar roasted pecans is like, I didn't know what to do. But we did get a pecan log. That was your first pecan log.
I've never had a pecan log ever in my life. and I took a bite of Brad's, and it was great. It was good. I know why they exist now. It makes sense. They had a whole jerky
Emporium.
counter.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, here's this. So I heard people said that their jerky selection is crazy. So we walked by, there's just a wall of like Ziploc bag jerky everywhere of all these different flavors and kinds. I was like, yeah, that's a lot of jerky, but it's just a wall of jerky, whatever, that's fine. Then you get over to the deli where they're making tacos and the bakery. And part of the thing that wraps, the counter that wraps around is, I mean, I think a good 30 feet of jerky.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good walking distance.
So, I mean, you get hungry, like Costco, you just get hungry walking around that place, you know?
It's been years since I've been to a Costco.
Yeah. But you asked about what kind of, any ideas you might implement that you saw there. I mean,
Soda fountains.
soda fountains.
Soda fountains.
Besides printing technique or anything like that, man, that would be fun to have an icy machine. That probably would get gross though.
I'd keep that thing pristine, man.
So-
Oh, from Brother? No, I mean,
He's talking about, we're hung up on Buc-ee's.
yeah, like we're just,
I'm not gonna lie, I was just as excited about Buc-ee's as Brother. I would get to
it's a
experience
trip,
it.
yeah.
And I was excited about hanging out at a casino. I like going to the casinos, but it just wasn't. It's fine. I had a good time playing some games, but it's not that Vegas energy is more sleepy.
I think it
We
messed
did
up
go on a
my
Monday and
vibe.
Tuesday night though,
Yeah.
but still, Tuesday, I've never been on like a dead time in Vegas, like no matter what day of the week. It's crazy.
Like when I was going up, I went up to my room Tuesday night, and there's like the little snack thing, but it's like super amplified from any hotel that I've ever been into. So it's like super amplified snack case, drink counter, et cetera, et cetera. This old lady, and we had saw her. I had paid attention to her, just playing them machines all night long, you know. She doesn't go to any of the restaurants there. She goes and buys a refrigerated one of them refrigerated packaged sandwiches. And she's pushing 70 years old. I said, ma'am, I didn't say this. I wanted to say, ma'am, this is a mistake.
This is a Flavor Town right there.
Yeah, and you're going to buy this prepackaged sandwich that's been shipped from God knows where. It's like a learning experience. You go buy one of those when you're a kid or a teenager or something, you're like, I'm never doing that again. And
Yeah.
I eat a bunch of gas station food. It's just not a prepackaged sandwich. And
The other wet bread, the whole experience.
mold.
The wilted lettuce, you know, all the thing. When you got donkey sauce right around the corner and a dang life-size cutout of Guy Fieri you can get a picture with.
Yeah, donkey sauce, I expected more.
Yeah, donkey sauce was just like a garlic mayo. That was an aioli, if you will.
I thought it was going to be a pink sauce, like a comeback sauce or a Zack sauce or something a little bit zestier. Guy.
It's flavor, but I just expected more from Flavor Town. I had a shrimp po' boy, and Brad had a Kobe beef burger.
Yeah, old Kobe Bryant beef burger.
Yep.
R.I.P.
And they said a fry trio, and we only got 2 kind of fries when they sold us on 3. And we even asked about it. It was waffle, curly, and straight fries. And
John called it. You called it.
I did?
You called it. You said,
Yep.
I bet it's going to be waffle, straight, and curly.
Yep.
And it was, but we only got waffle and straight.
Yep, the curlies were out. Guy Fieri was out of curly fries that day. They didn't send Guy out to see us, so that was sad.
No.
But yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. It's Flavor Town. I mean, come on. What do you got? What do you want more than just flavor? It's pure flavor.
Pure flavor, pure grease.
But we have 2 questions now. So anything we're going to implement in Brother, from Brother, they have a new DTG that has, it's called a Hexa, and that is not on the market right now, I don't think. I mean,
It is.
I've never seen one before at the other shows, let's put it that way.
Oh,
So I don't
really?
know if it was at the other.
Okay.
Because I've seen the machine. So what it is they have a new DTG anyway. It's called the 600, and it's more industrial looking. It's a big metal box. It's got some features in there that makes it better. It's faster. But they added the Hexa means that they added an orange, a true orange and a true green into the CMYK white profile. And then essentially the orange and the green come in to enrich the other colors. So it's not just this, only put green down. Example, a teal is going to have, it needs some support. Let's just put it that way. Like where do you think the orange is coming to play? Probably some of the reds?
The mid reds and even some of the pinks probably, because magenta is, you got to mix magenta with blue and white to get certain pinks and shades of magenta. It was cool. It looked really good, but to me it's like we've never struggled with teals.
Mm-mm.
Teals and blues have always been pretty edit the art enough to where you're achieving those colors. To me, it's always been like the purples.
I was about to say, I noticed the purples, like magenta but richer, like dark, something that's not quite. It's like dark hot pink.
Yeah.
Like something like that. There was one of the pictures of the lizard dude, but around his neck area, there were some purples that I was like, dude, the variants of purple you're seeing right there was pretty shocking looking.
And that could have been the art, because art, it's digital printing is very dependent on how well what color profile you make it in, et cetera, et cetera. But it looked good. It was cool. They actually, I took one of those home actually, and then I said, "Hey, where's the 3X's at?" And they're like, they're too much money.
Yeah. They're like,
said, well, I feel unincluded, rejected, redacted.
Yeah, it was hurtful, but he said you could send him some.
Yeah. It's like,
he actually told you to take your shirt off.
oh yeah, because I was wearing a blank tri-blend, and I was like, it's a tri-blend. They're like,
Dude,
we can do tri-blends. I'm like,
I think you should have totally taken your shirt off in front of all those dudes in business suits walking around. Just be the one shirtless dude in the room.
they would have lost their, I think I would have been escorted out of security.
The one marketing guy we goes, we don't do that here.
But we're laughing. We're sharing a laugh like your boss said, dude.
I thought we were going to share in some laughs. You'd be like, I look funny without a shirt on. I'm speaking for myself, not Brad. I would have done it with you. If you would have done it, I would have been like, and then everybody laughed at you, I would have slowly take my shirt off, and the next thing you know, everybody takes their shirt off, like a slow clap, but it's of taking their shirts off. So a bunch of dudes in pleated pants and no shirts on standing around a room.
Well, besides that, besides me and you, there was that one other big dude, and I think we were the three biggest people there.
Yeah.
Like, by a margin.
Yeah.
Like, by a margin.
A bunch of slender German dudes everywhere.
Little people.
Yeah.
Little people.
That's just what it is. We got a question about. By the way, I'm really bad about Insta names.
Teague the Tiger?
Teague the Tiger?
Teague?
I thought it was T8E Tiger. I'm terrible at this stuff, man. Anyways, yes, we have all kind of crazy stuff going on. The best thing to do is to talk to one of the account representatives. We kind of are always pushing some version of like, a lot of people like our $3.99 deal where it's 100 gilded t-shirts with a white ink on it for $3.99. That's a great shirt for its purpose, especially if you're in a punk rock band, you want that classic white ink on a black shirt look. But it's really just a way for someone to be able to get, a shirt and us have an option that's a really good quality, that we can get an option in people's hands so they can get started if that's what they want to do. But we can do, there's so many options what we can do. It depends on, we can put together a retail package for you. And what I mean by retail is to make you look and be ready for retail sales, meaning it could be a t-shirt, poly bagging, get your name on the inside of the shirt, that kind of thing, maybe a hang tag, just whatever, and we have a combo deal if you add more of the retail finishing options into your program or your design or whatever, your project, that's what I meant to say. And it will make you look professional, very professional, especially tags on the inside of the shirt. If I would tell anybody, if you're starting a clothing line brand, I would say really just go ahead and start it off. If you know this is the brand you're going to go with, you really want to build something, go ahead and go that little extra step and put branding tags on the inside of your shirt. So that way Your name is on everything you sell. It really is a great point of reference. So when people look into their shirt a little more, they'll be like, oh wow, this is you, and you have it point back to anything you want. You can tell a story in there. We've had companies put like information about that specific shirt design, inside there. So
A couple paragraphs sometimes.
yeah, so you can utilize that space of the t-shirt to do something unique and to make your fans just feel extra special. And you look really cool doing it too. So we can do tags on the inside of your shirt, and that's what it is.
I'm gonna start a clothing line with my face on every print location.
Like, but how on every location? But there's lots of locations.
Front. I'm just talking, the main ones. Front, back, sleeves, tags.
Yeah.
Just my face.
If you'd like a shirt with Brad's face on it, let him know. We'll send you one you'll be the first person. I'll support that, and we'll start Brad a clothing line with his face on it. And just hit us up, say, I want one with Brad's face on it, and you'll probably win.
Brad'sFace.com. Check it out. Coming to 2026.
Brad's face.
Big things happening soon.
There's a safe space on Brad's face. Just go with the weirdest slogans that make people wonder. What did he mean by that?
What do you mean?
So yeah, yes, the make better. Right. So yeah, it's interesting. One thing I didn't understand, Brad, maybe you can let me on this, is with the extra red and orange.
Green and orange.
Green and orange. The extra green and orange channels on a hexa, are they translucent? Like, how does that work in with a? So if you didn't know, CMYK has a see-throughness to it. So when you overlap, like you're talking there, Josh, when you overlap a yellow and a blue, you're gonna get a green tone because they're kind of see-through. It's like putting on two different lenses and having a color come through. When you add that red and, I keep saying the colors wrong, orange and green.
I always thought it was red and green too till we got there.
Yeah, because I could have sworn someone had a true red.
Yeah, I always thought it was like CMYK RG. I thought it was red and green, not orange.
Yeah.
Now the orange might be a reddish orange, but it looked to me like 151Z.
Yeah, it looked like a hot, like straight down the middle orange. Yes.
CMYK in a printer, like, it's definitely different. Because most like TLDR, PostScript, ink dots, CMYK can make a majority of things. CMYK is a subtractive color process. RGB is an additive color process. CMYK, you can get, like Josh said, it's got a large color gamut, but it does suffer in some areas. And it's also a little bit more faded, and when you're comparing it to like screen printed ink, you have to have a special kind of CMYK ink to do CMYK prints on a screen print press. But since computers and printers have always operated in a fashion to where you have 4 channels of these specific dots, more translucent, they are less viscous, and the translucentness, more translucent or less translucent, comes down to a shaded percentages. So when you have a percentage of a color in any kind of RIP software, any kind of printer, you're going to, if you have 50% opacity in your computer program, when you rip that or raster image process it through a computer system and burn it onto a screen or print it onto a thing, like either a film or a shirt, DTG, whatever it is, printers all work kind of the same way. 50% opacity on Photoshop or GIMP or whatever is going to relate to 50% dot pattern onto onto whatever substrate or medium that you're doing, and that's where you get the translucent. What's the plurality of that word? Translucentness. That's where you get the translucence of it. But as far as combining colors and all that, you can get a good scope and range out of CMYK, and that's why a lot of people, if you're referring to used to save ink in the screen print side of things, the simulated process, I don't know when it actually came out or who was doing it, but a lot of that stuff is that's why CMYK is called CMYK process printed, and simulated process printing is using other colors from the RGB spectrum to make everything appear, you're blending and putting colors really close together and using halftones, et cetera, to get a desired effect. Same thing with CMYK, but you're using way more colors. Like you could do a simulated process job, and you could fill it up with 16 colors if you wanted to. It
Right.
just depends on how big your press is.
Also, I had, back in the day when I was doing the SEPs back in the day, what I was wondering if the green and the orange was doing was what we used to do in screen printing back in the day with CMYK is like if somebody needed a spot drop in of like a hot red color because I remember there was a car that we printed, a car on a design that was hot red, and so we literally dropped in a hard red for that color, then put all the CMYK on top. You know what I mean? So it mainly deleted it out of the artwork, but some of the black shading still hit on top of the flash, and it was flash too.
Yeah.
And that's the way we did that at that time. So my question is I wonder if the red and the orange are laying down, say, first. You know what I mean? So you're not covering the CMYK, and then they're overlapping on top of it, or if it's another translucent color. You see, does that make sense, Brad? What
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's almost like the red and the orange become like a highlighter, if you will, or just a spot kiss to like push the other colors up,
I think it's more like, I think it just does it. I would imagine if you looked in like whatever, in like the new Brother like RIP software that they have, Graphics Lab, I would assume it's just another channel. An
Yeah.
orange and a green channel. I think that would be it.
Yep. I think you're boring, Will.
Sorry, Will.
Who knows? Yeah, if you want to come on in, just hang out, talk about screen printing. Look, I like to talk about all the things. What would you guys like to talk about?
I mostly want to talk about food, but no, I think that I think it'd just be in two more layers added to it, 2 more channels added to it.
So yes, had a fun time with that, for sure. So yeah, we had a good time with the casinos, good time with Buc-ee's, good time with Brother. We had a lot of laughs. We shared a lot of laughs. That was good too. We got to listen to Converge for the first time. Brad got to hear Converge.
And a bunch of other post-hardcore bands and metalcore bands I didn't ever know existed.
And by the way, that's us driving around the car, not like we went to the Converge show.
What do you think of Converge, Brad?
It was cool, dude.
They're one of my favorites.
Yeah,
It is good.
they sound like Gorgals.
Gorgals. Argyle. Every time you'd say that, I think of Argyle.
Oh, I'm saying it from that.
sauce.
Drew, do you know what I'm talking about? The family wife swap video from the late '90s, early 2000s, or something.
Yeah.
And then they,
I'm a God Warrior. That one?
yeah, but God, yeah, she's like gets super
Yeah.
upset because she stays at a family that I can't even remember if they were like New Age or something. Like,
Yes. Yeah. They were like Wiccan, maybe. But yeah, they had gargoyles. and
So they flipped-
worshiped the moon.
She came home and the first thing she says when she walks in the door is just like, "Not Christian." Like the wife leaves and comes home. Like,
like trading spouses?
yes, that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So the mom switched. So it's like the Wiccan mom comes here and be like, these kids seem like they're terrified of everything, you know what I mean? But the ultra Christian religious mom goes to the Wiccan house and I guess doesn't stay too long. I don't know
I think I don't know if she makes it the full weekend or whatever, but I did watch the like after the fact documentary on that. And at first she denied the money because she didn't, and then she took it.
Then she accepted it because it's money. But she tore up the check and then I guess asked for another check later.
She said the money was tainted.
The money was tainted. She was like, there were devils, there
Chick-
were gorgals.
Chicken nuggets is probably my favorite.
Which one's that? Oh,
The other one where like the mom, like the health mom comes into like, I don't know, my house in 1997.
was his name Curtis or something?
Probably.
Like, are you talking about a little kid?
Bacon is good for me.
Bacon.
Bacon's
Bacon is good for me.
She's the queen and we the sorry people.
We the sorry people.
We the sorry people.
I'm sorry, is that little girl wearing high heels? Whatever he says.
Man, reality TV. Now we can just have Karen videos to watch on TikTok. You know, when we used to have full produced shows of chaos.
I never watch reality TV. Other than like, what would you do in the Chris Hansen thing?
You watch. Yeah, but the Chris Hansen is so good. What was I going to say? We were talking about, even though it's not the same, but I think it is. It's like CMYK videos back in the day. They're way more, like, not like boring.
CKY?
Yeah, CMYK.
Same like that.
I got printed.
I wonder if anyone's
There's
ever made-
gorgals in my brain.
I wonder if anyone's ever made a logo that said with the CMY
You want to make one?
CKY.
Let's make
font.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
with
we'll print it.
CMYK. Yeah.
If you guys want, we'll make a CMYK shirt with the CKY logo. Or
that'd be-
we'll even put a heartogram on it somewhere if you need it.
Yeah. No, that's what John and I were talking about. You know, growing up in the youth and just watching. Yeah, I did watch, you know, CKY and all that stuff. But I mean, like, my ex-girlfriend would turn on the Kardashians or the Real Housewives, and I'm like, I'm gonna go put my face under the water spigot and just waterboard myself. I would rather be waterboarded than to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't. I never. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do
Like
it.
I mean, like, we grew up like on like, I guess reality TV being more like, so a lot of it became more game showy, like Fear Factory kind of stuff, and
I
like,
hated Fear Factor.
yeah, and then like, I mean, but Price is Right was reality TV if you ask me. I mean, that was,
Yeah, I mean, that game shows and stuff like that, yeah, they're definitely real, but like as far as like when the real world became a thing, and you probably were like prime target audience for that when it came out, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was littler, but it just never,
It's funny when it first came out because it's like you almost like when Real World came out. I think the first kind of, for me, was definitely the first reality show. And then like I checked it out. At first I was like, what are we doing again? We're gonna follow these people around with a camera and just like watch them like get ready in the morning and then talk about it in a box, because they would do that like
little,
like
Candid.
a confession room
Yeah.
kind of talk. And then all of a sudden someone said, I don't really like that person that much. I'm like, they're going to see this later. I was like,
well, now they get them, and everyone's like, if he doesn't watch reality television, how does he know this? Ex-girlfriend, they put them all in a room together now.
yeah.
And they play the stuff back, and it's like, you said this about that and this, and they're all like about to fight each other. Even I did watch some of those weird, you know, like what is it called, Ink Master? I did watch that
Yeah.
just because tattoos.
Yeah. Was it Ink Master 3, the guy from Villarica's in there?
Really?
Yeah. I'm having a brain fart right now. He did the ambush designs for the skate company Ambush.
We printed a lot of ambush
Stack
stuff.
twos is what people call his art. Like you send him, you tell him what your favorite snack is, like a bomb pop or whatever, and he makes his version of that.
It's
It's
like
his
new school.
very new school,
Okay.
like the most craziest color I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Extremely new school. But yeah, there's that's what it is. So we got all kind of reality shows. Again, I don't know what's going on in the reality TV scene. I mean, wasn't my favorite kind. I mean, I like Jerry Springer a whole lot and like Maury Povich.
Maury
But
was different. Maury
Who-
hit different, man.
But it felt more real when like Oprah and like Geraldo Rivera and all those dudes in the late
Geraldo.
80s when they were doing it.
Probably
it
just rough,
Sally Jesse Raphael, like all them, because full on fist fights that weren't like Jerry Springer style, like let's egg them on. They were just pure passion. Like I think they were either they were better at making it feel real when it first started, or they just were real.
Well, I
And-
think, and a lot of it, you know, it's you're always going to have directors and script writers and all that stuff. But I remember, you know, especially in the 2000s, or you know, whatever, when the Catch Me Outside girl became a thing, and like I watched the whole Dr. Phil thing. It might have been on Rogan. I think I was watching Dr. Phil on Rogan, and he was like, Dr. Phil was, well, it's not my responsibility to blah blah blah. I'm like, no, you're creating these people, dude. You're helping to create this entity that, I don't know. I have moral disagreements with a lot of that stuff. And don't stop making stupid people famous.
Do you like Borat?
Yeah.
That to me, that's in the same vein though, right? it's a layered story on top of reality. It's like augmented reality, but backwards.
But it serves a purpose other
satire.
than it's satirical. To
Well,
the
I
point.
guess what I'm saying is you've also got where they film. You have a storyline, but they're filming it in public, so you get the. It's a really interesting. I've always thought that was one of my favorite ways to do it. Is like these people don't know they're being filmed in a movie while it's happening, and you're getting. It's like the real reactions are the fun ones, you know.
Yeah.
Cinema verite.
Cinema-
That's what that's called. So, like the Under the Skin does that. If you are familiar with that movie, Scarlett Johansson. There were people in that movie that you were talking to who aren't actors or anything like that, but they're in the movie.
And actually,
talking to her.
the scenes where she's sitting in the van talking to the like
Yeah,
flirting with people, basically.
yeah, that's the scenes.
Like-
I'm talking about.
If you think there's a risk there, man. You know what I mean? That's a pretty interesting, ballsy move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So she's trying to. Am I right? She's trying to lure men in,
Right.
almost like Black Widow style.
Yeah.
But it's just Charlotte Johansson alone in a van. Brad, you've never seen this movie, I'm assuming?
What is it?
It's called Under the Skin.
No.
With Scarlett
But
ScarJo.
Scarlett Johansson's in it.
Yeah, she's an alien, but not the one you were not like we're thinking. Is a really unique kind of alien, and part of it is she's luring men in to make them.
She's harvesting their meat, but there's no way that you would know that.
Yeah,
There's no exposition at all in the movie. Like everything just kind of unfolds in front of you. And
well, even the scenes when she finally gets them, it's like they follow her like a siren, I guess you would say, into like a dark area, like a building, an abandoned building.
I would follow Scarlett Johansson into an abandoned building.
And then they like walk into some black liquid that's on the floor. That just a dimensional shift happens, and they just deflate people. Like literally deflate them. That is the best way to say it. Like it's a really cool effect they do on the screen. Like
when
literally,
was it released?
2012,
was it A24?
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And but anyways, the scenes of them picking up the people. You know what I mean? She's literally in a van with like down on the street, and people are walking by, and she's hitting on them. And it's like she's wearing like a black wig, but she looks like ScarJo with a black wig. So they might even have footage of people recognizing her, but like random dudes are like, because maybe a lot of guys, I don't know about you guys, but being hit on by a ScarJo lady right out of a window randomly on the street is kind of jarring for a moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You don't
definitely
know.
wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, so all
I'd be
these
like-
guys, she's like talking to them.
Are you catfishing me?
Yeah.
I'd still follow into a dark building though. I'm
I
not
like
better
Will's
than that.
response. ScarJo can harvest my meat anytime.
But yeah, I'll watch it.
She would love to go to Buc-ee's then, because they have a whole counter of old, just meat counters.
She is so pretty though, on the real.
I saw her once in New York. Her and Colin, her husband, Colin Jost, were coming out of the Church of Scientology. The service let out, and I was walking by, and then they walked out of that just out of the temple, but they were walking like with purpose, like go, like not running, but like hard walking. And
I didn't know she was a Scientologist.
well, maybe now she is, but no, she came out of that. And then I went down around the corner, and a Broadway play was letting out, and Matthew Broderick came out the side entrance. And I was like, oh, it's Matthew Broderick.
We were just talking about that before the show.
What's that?
The 1999 Godzilla movie starring Matthew Broderick.
I totally forgot about that.
We were listening to the Puff Daddy song before you got in here.
I watched Godzilla -1 the other day.
That's what
Yeah, I
sparked the
saw it last night.
conversation.
I liked it. It was fun.
It's really good. Yeah.
I like that they used the old music in there, and a lot of the set building in there was awesome. They did a good mixture of the two. Do you notice that Godzilla kind of felt like a little bit like the rubber Godzilla?
Oh yeah, for sure. The design was the same.
It's
very
like
similar.
it's like if you lightly CG'd the old rubber suit, you know, because you remember what I don't know if you picked up on this when Godzilla was looking around, he still kind of had like his eyes wouldn't move because they had this. It kind of felt like a dude in a suit, but CG as well. They did a really,
really slow.
Yeah.
Too, which I actually kind of liked that.
and they also implemented the new school of that weird charging up his back spikes and then blasting lasers out of his mouth.
That was always the coolest thing to me. The blue spikes.
But the charge up thing, man, I'm like, oh no, it's coming. It's a really cool technique. It's an ultimate release of energy.
I wanted laser beam eyes. But yeah.
So yes, so we had a good time. I want to get Brad to go to some of these Vegas shows with us. And speaking of all the different conferences, Josh, I'll be in Dallas, Fort Worth area. Fort Worth, it won't be till October. The Impressions October show is it's in Fort Worth, I think, every year anyway. But yeah, I'll be back in Fort Worth coming up. So if you're around, hit me up, man. Go to the screen printing show. I teach seminars at the screen printing show, so it's really fun doing that stuff, and I really enjoy it, and I enjoy hanging out with people. There was some place doing movies at night on a rooftop. It was like a silent movie. It's a new school silent movie. They had advertised it. It was like a bar, and they were watching Pulp Fiction at 11 p.m. But
With no volume?
Well, you wear those
Oh.
kind of like a silent disco, so that way they could blast it loud in your ears and have it on the rooftop, because there's like other people living around the area.
Yeah.
But
Noise ordinances.
yeah, so you can get around the noise ordinance by simply doing. That's the way they used to do drive-thrus too. You would have to listen to it out of your car radio, So it's kind of like a new school thing like that. But anyways.
But Texas is hot.
Yep. So Texas has a lot of fun little things to do. Brad and I did not find a rooftop silent drive-through. We just found a bunch of meat, a bunch of rich, heavy Southern food. That's pretty much what we found.
Yep.
And a dank casino. But what we shared in lots of laughs.
Yeah, we shared so many laughs.
Yes.
So dank.
It's called Impressions Expo. Like impressions, like, that'd be funny if it was doing impressions.
Impressions.
Or I'm here to impress you. No, I've always thought it was funny. I've never talked about impressions, like in a technical standpoint in the screen printing industry. You know what I mean? Like, how many color prints are we doing? Like, what kind of impression are you doing? Like, when do people? It's like it's called Impressions. I know there used to be Impressions magazine. So Impressions magazine was a screen printing industry magazine that converted to online, like, information, and is now a conference, or has been a conference for a while. But the word impressions, there's embroidery, screen printing. Those are the two things that used to be now, and then now a DTF, DTG, and DTE, which is direct to embroidery.
Yeah, that was probably I don't know about that one.
The color reel is way cooler. The color reel works. What a color reel is it dyes the thread through a DTG machine as you're sewing the design onto the substrate. It can do anything a regular embroidery machine can do. DTE, that brother was talking about, so far only does you have to embroider a shirt, something flat,
And then put it back on the thing.
and then put it on another machine that scans it, and then DTGs over the top of the white thread to make it colorful. So
It's a strange concept.
I don't have either one to play with right now, but I think the color reel seems to be where I'm at. I love brother people, but I think this might be something new or cool that they're doing that maybe can morph into something more usable. But who knows? But we just don't do a lot of embroidery directly on T-shirts.
No.
I think mainly hats, beanies,
Polos,
maybe
hats,
some polos.
beanies.
But really, we do a lot of screen printing. But one day we're talking about expanding into maybe the color reel system, just embroidery in general. But we'll see how that goes.
Or I'm just gonna go to some foreign country and learn how to stitch by hand.
There you go.
It's very intricate designs.
I mean, that's how the embroidery started, I think, in Japan originally, was just by hand, and some of that stuff they do is unbelievable. They can do that by hand. So,
I don't have the patience.
yeah. But yeah, had a good time today. But yes, we did found we found a lot of meat. Well, we did. Thanks, Josh, for talking to us today. But yeah, October, Dallas. I'll be speaking there. And other than that, we're gonna have a lot of fun. We got 4th of July coming up soon. We won't be doing a What's in the Box that weekend. So next week we'll see you guys, but not the week after that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I had a good time talking about meat, traveling, and we shared in some laughs, guys. So that's the part. But yeah, guys, hopefully you're sharing laughs with everything you're doing this weekend as well. And we will see you next week. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.